Terrible things happen in this world, and in most of our lives, there is a fair amount of suffering. In this video, I'm going to explain why you should never offer pity to someone who is going through something really painful. Then I'm going to give you a few ideas on what you can offer instead. There are all kinds of suffering, aren't there? Each person's experience is completely individual. There are common themes, yes, but how people handle what happens in their lives is highly individual. Even when people are diagnosed with a terminal illness and they're dying, how they respond to that and how they react to that and how they grieve that is very different according to how they are, how you are in this world. There are very many different ways of being. My name is Karen. I'm a clinical psychologist and I have over 15 years of experience. I hope you find this video helpful in some way. If you do, please click the like and subscribe buttons. So I'm going to begin by telling you quite a few don'ts. If someone close to you, or even someone not close to you, is suffering visibly, or if you know about their suffering, I'm going to tell you quite a few things that you should not say and that you should not do. And then I'm going to tell you a few things that would be helpful. Firstly, don't presume. Don't make assumptions. You have no idea what they're thinking, what they're feeling, what they're experiencing. You only know what you're thinking and feeling and experiencing, and you want to project that onto them. But you projecting your feelings onto somebody else is really not helpful in any way. Don't offer pity. Pity is probably the most unhelpful thing. It leaves the other person feeling like a victim. It leaves them feeling like you are superior in some way, because when you offer pity, you're saying, I'm better off than you. Therefore, I am in a position, a superior position, in order to offer you this pity. Don't tell them how much you're suffering for them. Don't tell them how much your heart is breaking, or how much you can't sleep at night, or how much you cried when you heard about what happened to them. Don't presume. Keep your feelings contained to yourself. Deal with your feelings in your time. But do not offer your feelings to that person, because what you're actually doing is burdening them with the job of comforting you for what you're feeling. Don't tell them how sorry you are for them. Don't tell them you know exactly what they're going through. Don't tell them stories about your family member or friend who went through something similar and got through it. Or offer a story that provides some kind of lesson for the person who is suffering. No, it's not just unhelpful, it's invalidating. It's dismissive. It presumes all kinds of things that you have no right to presume about anyone else's experience, even someone that you're really close to. Don't share your religion. Don't assume that they will be grateful to hear that you are praying for them. If you want to pray for someone, go ahead. But don't tell them that you're praying for them unless you know for a fact that they will appreciate hearing that. Don't tell them that they will definitely go to heaven. Don't tell them God has a plan and everything has a reason. This is the opposite of helpful. Even if someone is religious, they may have a different understanding, or they may be struggling with their faith in a way that you cannot comprehend and that you should not presume to understand. The thing is, when you make these kind of assumptions and when you offer pity to somebody, it victimizes them. Maybe they already feel like a victim, but maybe they don't. Another effect that this has on the person who is suffering is that it misses their struggle, their resilience, the fact that they are still here, the fact that they are getting through this in their own way, whatever that might be, that they have resources and that they have inner resilience that you may know nothing about. Don't tell them they're going to get through this, that they're going to be stronger for having experienced this, that God doesn't give people tests that they cannot bear, that one day they're going to look back on this and be grateful that they went through this. You know, all of those things could well be true, but it is not helpful for you to offer this to the person who is suffering. All that this conveys is that you are dismissing or invalidating their current pain. It is not your job to change things, to fix things, to make someone else feel better, to make them be okay, especially when they are not okay, when the situation is far from okay. Maybe they will never be okay. So what to offer instead? My suggestion is to do your best to offer empathy. Not pity, empathy. And I'm going to give you some idea of what this might look like. Firstly, acknowledge the situation. Don't ignore it. Don't pretend nothing is happening. Ask them. Say, how are you coping? How is it for you to be here right now? Or, I know that it's been a year or 6 months since the thing happened. How's your recovery doing? Are you okay? Empathy is about getting into someone else's world and seeing it through their eyes, or at least trying, but not making assumptions about what the world looks like to them, but rather asking questions, but listening carefully to their answer and watching for their cues. Take your cues from the other person. Empathy is about looking at the person and feeling and understanding and seeing their cues and listening to what they're asking of you. Keep it simple. Say things like, I'm here. I'm sorry. These kinds of phrases are far more powerful and far more healing than any reassurance can ever be. And if they say, I just need a few minutes, then give them a few minutes. And if they say, I would love a cup of tea, then make them a cup of tea. Listen for what the other person is asking of you and follow their lead. If the person who is suffering does want to talk, listen. The person can tell you that they feel like a victim. They can tell you that they can't bear it. They can tell you that they can't sleep at night. They can tell you that they're petrified of dying or that they want to die. They can say all these things. They can say, I'm going to get through this. Time heals all wounds. One day I'm going to look back at this and be grateful that I went through it. That's fine. They can say all of these things because that is their experience. You are supporting them, so you allow them to say whatever they want to say or need to say or interpret it however they want to or need to. As long as you're not putting any of these things on them, it's completely fine for them to make sense of it in any way that makes sense for them. If someone says these things, just stick to the simple phrases. I hear you. That is so hard. I'm so sorry. That's it. If they ask you for your advice, if they ask you if you've ever gone through something similar, if they ask you for reassurance, if they say, do you think I'm going to go to heaven? Or do you think that one day I'll be grateful for this? Then sure, yes, of course, that is the time to offer the reassurance that the person needs. Take your cue from the person who is suffering. In general, just keep it simple. If you need something, please just ask. Everyone needs help at a time like this. What can I do to help? I'd love to help. That's pretty much all you can say. It's all you can give. And it is enough. Offer a kind, listening presence. I hope you found this video useful in some way. If you did, please click the like and subscribe, and please let me know in the comments. I would really appreciate your feedback. And if you have a question about any of this, then let me know, and maybe I'll make a video to answer your question.